anything else that you have to be careful about. Then the Mishnah Berurah writes, this is only if you're running out, for a while. But if you want to come back right away, then you don't have to make a new bracha. And he writes, in this situation, you should be makpid not to make a bracha if you're going out for 2 minutes, because, again, because you're causing a bracha she'ena tzricha. Okay, a minute tangent here. There's a bracha she'ena, there's being moti shem shemayim levatala, there's a bracha levatala, and then there's a bracha she'ena tzricha. Moti shem shemayim levatala is you stam say Hashem's name for no purpose of davening or no purpose of a bracha. You say Shem Hashem, right? That is an Isur Doraisa. Look at Tmura Dalim Aleph. Es Hashem Elokecha Tira. That's an Isur Doraisa. Then there is a bracha levatala. I said in the middle of nowhere, a bracha shakol niyeh. Now I blessed Hashem, but it wasn't necessary, right? That's a bracha levatala. Then you have a bracha she'ena tzricha. You have an apple, you make a brain of fashos. 2 minutes later, you have a pear, you make another shakol, and another brain of fashos. That was totally unnecessary. One thing could have covered the whole thing. That is a bracha she'ena tzricha, and that's also one. Now, there is a Gemara in Brachos on the bottom of Lamed Gimel Amud Aleph. The Gemara here says as follows. Rabbi Yochanan and Rishlakish both say, "Kol ha'mevorech bracha she'ena tzricha, over mishum lo sisa Shem Hashem elokecha l'ashor." You're over and you say, you said Hashem's name in vain. The same thing with the bracha she'ena tzricha. Now the Rambam in Hilchos Brachos, in Aleph Halacha Tes above, takes this literally, and the Mechaber quotes him as well in Reish Tes Vav. This is in the Shimon Reish Tes Vav, Sif Dalet. Mechaber writes over here. Whoever says a bracha she'ena tzricha, he's no say Shem Shemayim Lashav, he's Hashem's name in vain. Who can nishba Lashav is like he swore in vain. Swore in vain means you swear something which is obvious. Guy swears that, I don't know, this is a safe, something which is obvious. Or something which is obviously natural. And he's like nishba Lashav. Now the Mishnah Berurah already quotes that there are some Rishonim argue on the Rambam, and they say it's only a drabon because you did praise Hashem. And the drush is only an asmach. Whatever it is, it's also either a doraisa like the Rambam and the Chaber, it's a drabon and it's an asmach. Okay, now whatever it is, the Mishnah Berurah writes over here that if you really might forget to bench, you may after a while bench it. But if you're not going to forget to bench, then Dafka don't make another bracha before you leave because it might be bracha she'ena because it's based on a kivega. Now, then the Mishnah Berurah writes back at Kuf Hayin Ches, it's a Lamed Gimel, that let's assume you're eating here, and all of a sudden they invite you to come join them somewhere else, your friend's house, right? So you're not going to get delayed. You're not going to get delayed because you're going over there to eat, correct? So he says you're not supposed to leave l'chatchila because there's an inyan to bench where you ate. Now it's true, if I eat here and eat there, I can bench there. But l'chatchila, if I ate here, the benching should be over here. Now l'chora, based on putting it all together, it doesn't mean though if you go out, bench here. Because then it's a bracha she'ena tzricha. It just means l'chatchila, don't go out. That's what it means. But then the Mishnah Berurah writes, well, this whole thing, not to go out, and eat in the other place, is only if he didn't have it in mind. But if you had it in mind when you made a motzi, you're going to eat somewhere else, then it helps to go out. It helps even for 2 buildings because sachakol, it's something I think a bracha in the original place. So if I sit down to eat here, I have no intention to go anywhere else. They invite me somewhere else. The heather is not to join them, is to just finish eating here. If I do it, I don't make a new bracha. However, if I had in mind I'm going to go over there, then I can go over there, even though it's a different building. Provided I ate I ate a kazayas over here, bread. Now, and then he writes, that's what they did when they go to wedding meals. I don't know, maybe they invited them to Simchas Chosan and Kala, whatever it is, and they want a bench there. I don't know if we're benching there, fine. It's also no good. Sometimes they invite you for Sheva Brachos for dessert. However, the mice, if you really want to bench in the second place, make sure you eat a little bit of bread in the second place, as we said, I think last time, not just mizona. Okay, next. The Chai Adam writes, let's say we're talking about something that you don't make a bracha in the original place. So those things, you go to a new place, you have to make a new bracha. So the Chai Adam, it's quoted in the Mishnah Berurah, writes, it doesn't help if you take it with you. You're eating a piece of fruit, an apple. You make a break for your 8, and then you start to go outside and you start walking. You're eating an apple, you have it in your hand. This does not help. And the second you walk out, you're going to have to make a new bracha. Right here, Chai Adam writes, even you hold the pre in your hand and you're going, it's Shinuy Makom, and you have to make a new bracha. Why? Because he writes here, every bite is something else. Now, Rav Moshe Feinstein argues on this. This is Orach Chaim Chelik Beis in Simon Nun Zayin. He argues, and he holds if you're taking it with you, you don't have to make a new bracha, provided you didn't make a hefsek. It means you're continuously eating, and you don't even wait between you swallow and the next bite. It's 3 swallow. Within, I don't know, how long is Toch K'dei Dibur? 4 or 5 seconds, you have to take another bite. And he writes, it also helps, even if it's not the same item. You have a bag of potato chips, and you're eating them, right? So Moshe holds that, as long as you're eating potato chips, you don't pause in the middle, you don't have to make a new bracha. But it has to be something you took from the original house. It doesn't help if you buy more potato chips on the way. This is all quoted in the Rabbi Badner's book on 135, 136, and in the footnotes there. Okay, now, what's the story according to Chai Adam? It's in my mouth already. Chewing gum, I have a hard candy. Now what? Okay, so Rav Moshe writes in the Tshuva here, even the Chai Adam would. It's already in your mouth, you don't have to make a new bracha. You're looking at Badner's footnotes, number 5 there. He quotes the Das Torah, I'm not sure what that is, and the Chazon Ish. They weren't sure about it. They said it's a suffix. Okay, then Rav Moshe writes, this is all if you did it. But l'chatchila, right, you should stop eating before you go, and then when you go out and start continuing, you should make another bracha rishon. Period. Next thing. It says in Kuf Ayin Ches Sif Dalet that if you're a Hochei Drach, you're a traveler, you don't have to make a new bracha, right? Because they were never sat down in one place to begin with. I'm translating the Mishnah Berurah to cutting them bays here. Travelers, Holchei Drachim, they, according to everybody, can go and eat. And even though they don't see the original place, because it's too far away, or they turn the corner, or there are trees in the middle, right? Because they never set themselves in the original place to eat when they made the bracha, just to eat and go. And therefore, it's not considered like you moved your place. That's what he writes. That's what he writes over here. Now, if you look in the Mishnah Berurah Mem Hey, I'm giving a synopsis of what he says here. Let's assume they made a bracha at home, and then they decided to go. Again, we're not talking about things that you have to make ala milchi or a bench in the original place. We're eating apples, potato chips, things like that, right? So he says, and then they started to go, correct? So he says as follows. If you look at the case I just gave, a bad example. You stop on the road and sit down to eat on the side of the road. I don't know, there's a picnic table there. You decided to eat there. And you're going to eat here. And then you decide I'm going to eat as I go, right? So he says, as long as you see the original place, no problem. Correct? If you don't see the original place, because something's in the middle or too far away, then he writes, but you sat down originally to this specific place and then you started to move, then he says, obviously, In fruit, you have to make a new bracha, those things. As far as bread, you don't have to make a new bracha, but you shouldn't get up and leave beforehand because you were planning to eat here. Okay, now that is let's assume
Hey, Rabbi.
yeah,
So all these Ashkenazim here, so they always lose after Bracha Acharona all the time?
correct. Depends how you look at it, gain or lose.
What?
It depends if you look at it as gain or losing.
Oh.
Let's assume you were at let's say you had in mind. Let's say you had in mind, I'm going to eat here for a while, and then I'm going to go. Then I'm going to go. So he writes here as follows. Now, it's not that you sat down and ate and then decided to go, right? Correct? Let's assume you plan to eat here and then continue on the way. So he says as follows, that if it's on the road, right, and you plan to move, then it's fine, even though you can't see the place, it doesn't matter. But if you're at home, this doesn't help, even though you had it in mind. Okay? But he says, let's assume I start eating my sandwich at home and I plan to go. Then he says, doesn't help for fruit, correct? Like 2 houses when I walk out, but for bread, helps even lachatchila. And if I have mizonos and shtia, so for the mizonos, it helps having in mind. And shtia is the subject we had before. Okay, I just want to sum up this last point here. Rabbi Baden here basically puts it pretty well. He writes here as follows. The normal mode of eating while traveling is to start in one location and finish in another. When one eats as he walks or travels, the continuous change of location does not mark an end of his eating session because he never intended to establish himself at any one location. That was basically the Mishnah Berurah. Therefore, the bracha he initially makes remains in effect as he continues to eat and drink en route to his destination, even though he enters and exits buildings, moves out of sight of his original location, and changes from one locale to another. Then he writes, the change of location from one's house to his car is similar, al pi halacha, to a change from one building to another building, which necessitates a new bracha, provided, of course, which eating mizonos or bread. Thus, if one wishes to spend some time in the house and take something to eat, even though he expects to leave subsequently, since he started eating with the intention of remaining in the house for a while, he is not considered a traveler. When he goes to his car, a new bracha is required. If, however, one intended to eat in the car, but waiting to depart, he began eating in the house. He's ready to leave at any second. Called the cab. He's waiting for somebody to be ready. But he's waiting to walk out the door, right? Then he's considered a traveler, and therefore, when he leaves, he doesn't have to make a new bracha, and this is good, correct? In others, again, if he sat down to eat in the house and then go, that's it. But if he intended to leave any second, not so. Then he writes, one can make a bracha and start eating in his car, travel from his original location, stop on the way to purchase a beverage, enter, exit a restaurant, and his original bracha will remain in effect. If one stops at a roadside table or picnic table with no intention to eat in the car, then that's his new location. Should he change his mind and wish to continue traveling, a new bracha would be required when he departs the picnic area. If he wishes to continue eating in that car at that site, that's a suffix. Makom. If, however, at the time I did the bracha at the roadside site, his intention was to start eating there and then to continue eating in the car, a new bracha will not be required. Similarly, one starts eating in a cab, in a car, or en route to an airport, right? He may continue eating in the terminal or on the plane. However, if one sits down at some food to eat some food in the airport with the intention of staying at a specific site, but even if it's a short while, then he establishes site there, correct? And should he subsequently choose to change location, then he requires a new bracha. It's like a picnic area. Tov, that's a synopsis of what he says. Zehu. Okay, you hear me?
Yeah.
All the way over New York. Okay, I will try
Yeah.
to send you the same bracha, the synopsis of what the